Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's special presentation of our Focus Care range. I'm very fortunate to introduce you to Dr. Erin Madigan-Fleck. She is a naturopathic medical physician, a Georgia State licensed master cosmetologist, esthetician, aesthetic instructor, and she holds a certification as a dermatology technician. She appears regularly as a national guest lecturer at trade shows and is both an author and advisory board member for Skin Inc. magazine. She received her naturopathic medical doctoral degree from the University of Science, Arts and Technology College of Medicine and holds several professional memberships, including the American Society for Nutrition, International Association for Applied Cornea Therapy, Society of Dermatology Skincare Specialists, and the NCEA. Dr. Erin Madigan-Fleck held a private practice in Atlanta, Georgia, above all else that she does, called Naturophoria. So I'm very, very pleased that Dr. Erin is going to be presenting this special webinar for us. Before I hand over, just notice that your line is muted. This is because the webinar is currently being recorded and a version of it will be sent to you after the conclusion of the webinar. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to use the questions tab on the GoToWebinar control panel and instant message them to me. If we had time at the end of the webinar, I will be fielding those questions. If not, I will respond to you via email before the end of the week. But that's enough from me. I'm going to hand it over. Thank you so much, Dr. Erin, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to present today's webinar.
Thank you so much, Candace. I am very pleased and proud to present this part of the Environ family. I'm very excited about the Focus Care range for several reasons. One, the refreshing components to the line really tie in to the Environ brand architecture. So as I go through the presentation, everybody will see how it can be augmented into both of our premier prestige lines, the core, Youth Essentia, and Skin Essentia lines itself. For those of you that are new to Environ, I'd like to go in and talk a little bit about vitamin A. And vitamin A is a very amazing molecule, and according to Dr. Des Fernandez, our creator, vitamin A is a critical nutrient for the skin. Number one, we know that it's a fat-soluble chemical. It's known as the skin normalizing vitamin, and it is regularly depleted through sun exposure, which many people are not aware of. So from our perspective, we first recommend vitamin A first and foremost for healthy skin and building the integrity of the skin. So we want to create that core concept of skin integrity before we go in and start to target correction or skin conditions. A lot of times in our industry, we want to go for the gusto and we want to get at the acne or we want to get at the hyperpigmentation, and we're not really looking at the big picture as far as the functionality and the integrity of the skin. So our philosophy is to maintain that normalization of the skin first and then go and target. So it's a fact that people everywhere suffer from vitamin A deficiency. Replenishing the vitamin A levels in the skin is the most important first step in the Environ skincare philosophy. Vitamin A, as I mentioned, is depleted by the body at each exposure to the sun. And because we're exposed to the sun on a daily basis, not so much lately, especially in Florida, this rain we're having, but vitamin A deficiency is extremely common. And it should be applied daily and applied directly to the areas needing it. Now, we refer to vitamin A as the skin normalizing vitamin. We use several forms of vitamin A, but in particular, retinol palmitate has the ability to absorb UV energy. It has photoprotective metabolic activity when it's applied and what I call stockpiled in the skin. when it's given in adequate doses. So this does not give us liberty not to use a sunscreen, of course, but it is a protective mechanism that's very, very important and we should pay attention to. And when you become a stockist, or if you are a stockist, you are familiar with the emphasis we place on vitamin A. We use the forms of retinol propionate, retinol palmitate, and retinol acetate in our core product line, both Skin Essentia and the Youth Essentia, along with a brigade of vitamin A, peptides, and antioxidants. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of why we like to use vitamin A in our products. So let's look at the next topic we're going to discuss is skin conditions. And as estheticians, we encounter many types of imbalances in skin conditions. Today, we're going to take a look at the most common conditions we encounter in the treatment room. And for our purposes today, we're looking at 5 main skin conditions: aging skin, dehydrated skin, sensitive skin, pigmented skin, and then blemish-prone skin. And of course, we all have different viewpoints on about how these skin conditions come about and what could be the potential causes for these things. So we're going to explore each one, and I'm just going to touch on some main hallmarks and points about each skin condition. So aging skin may be characterized by wrinkling around the and lines around the eyes, mouth and forehead, thinning skin texture, which is a normal part of the aging process, laxity and sagging skin, and less translucent and less radiant skin. So contributing factors may be, if you might want to write some of these things down, I'm going to give you some extra scientific aspects of some of these observations as well. Because of the natural aging process, intrinsic aging, extrinsic aging, oxidative stress, it is important to note that each individual will age differently, and the state of skin really dictates the physiology of the aging. So what I mean by that is we can have a 30-year-old whose skin has had a lot of oxidative stress and actually matures to the state normally of a chronologically aging 50-year-old. So let's not use age as an indicative measure to look at aging skin, but actually the state of skin and how it appears through diagnostic assessment, whether you're using your Woods lamp, your mag lamp, palpating the skin, everything that gives any clues to the structural integrity and the aging process is what we're looking for. So again, the natural aging process, of course, we know sun exposure. Smoking is very, very bad as far as, well, the entire body, but especially for the skin. There's about 500 chemicals in one cigarette, including arsenic. So that smoking around the skin and having that vapor on the skin is really counterproductive to preventing aging. Preventing aging. Pollution and toxins. The environment is full of toxic material, especially if we live in larger cities. Oxidative stress can come from many sources. One area of aging I like to pay attention to is what we call mitochondria aging. And the mitochondria is a very important part of the cell that dictates the rate of which we age, as well as the type of aging that happens. And mitochondria prevention, the damage from prevention, a lot of it comes from self-preservation, self-care, and through nutrition and supplementation. Genetics, of course, have a play in the aging of the skin, and something called telomere shortening. And we've heard more and more about telomeres, but this is chromosomal genetic material. And this happens when cells divide, and telomeres have a protective effect on DNA. They are partitioned in the chromosome that contains no genetic information. So they erode, telomeres erode throughout our lifetime with each replication until they almost disappear to leave virtually no DNA information around. So it's critical that we prevent cellular aging as much as we can. And through the the use of Environ by using nutraceutical topical supplementation through the use of our brigade of antioxidants, and most importantly, the vitamin A trilogies that we use, we're able to help to prevent topical as well as cellular aging by synergistically linking proper nutrition and topical skincare. So anti-aging is probably one of the biggest categories that we pay attention to in Environ. We also want to look at dehydration. Dehydration may be characterized by thick, rough texture of skin, flaking skin around the nose. It could be the chin, the forehead, other areas, fine cracks and fissures in the skin. And one of the things that's important to remember about dehydrated skin is that there is several aspects of dehydration that lend to the presentation of dehydrated skin itself. And this comes from a nutritional and physiology standpoint in the human body. So the natural aging process, we start to use fluids differently in the body. The kidneys use fluids differently as we age. So the aging process itself, lifestyle factors, environmental stress, undetected health conditions, and this I like to caution with excessively dry skin, because there are a lot of individuals in the United States that are undetected into pre-diabetic syndrome. And so constant thirst and dehydration can be a characteristic of pre-diabetic syndrome. So it is important if there's a family history, for one to take the liberty and be tested to make sure that everything is where it should be. Also, estrogen and progesterone imbalances. The female hormones go crazy through perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause. So hormone imbalances in general throughout the whole endocrine system can cause dehydration. Chronic internal dehydration. The United States is basically chronically dehydrated. We do not drink enough water, and green tea and soda pop does not count. It has to be pure water, and quite a bit of it. We need water for our organs. We actually lose a quart of water per day just through respiration. So I'm going to say that again. We lose 1 quart of water per day just through breathing. So if we're not taking in water the way we need to, unfortunately, our skin is the last place to have the water show up. So sometimes we'll see surface dehydration and possibly blame it on a product, and it's actually contributed through the systemic aspect of dehydration. Another thing that contributes to dehydration internally is low carbohydrate diets. And carbs are stored in the body with fluids. And so this is important when any type of diet is being done, that fluid intake is accelerated. We need to make sure that nutrients get to the cells intracellularly and extracellularly, and water is one of those vehicles that helps to do that. Another thing that can contribute to dehydrated skin is medications, particularly antibiotics, steroids, cardiovascular medications, but in particular, antibiotics can dehydrate the skin. Stress can cause dehydration. It puts a lot of activity in the hormone aldosterone, which helps to regulate the levels of fluid and electrolytes in the body. So as adrenal fatigue progresses in stress, your body's production of aldosterone drops, triggering dehydration and low electrolytes. So again, stress does many things to us, but can also dehydrate the skin. Sensitive skin, we find that we have redness on the cheeks, rashes, potentially on the eyelid, and that could be combined with eczema or psoriasis, or even what we call ocular rosacea. Anytime we see redness and scaling around the eyes, it could even be seborrheic dermatitis. So rashes around the eyes in particular need to be evaluated by a dermatologist. And areas of the skin that may look itchy and feel sensitive may also be problematic with regard to sensitive skin. And also, I think it's important to remember, I actually specialize in my practice on hypersensitive skin and problematic skin. And one of the things that's important to recognize is that there may be pre-existing conditions before a product is applied topically. So it may not be particularly that a product is causing the sensitivity, is that the state of skin was compromised before the product was even applied. And so this goes back to a very, very thorough skin assessment and evaluation. So contributing factors to skin sensitivity and sensitivity in general on the skin could be genetic predisposition. The level of Fitzpatrick system I find correlates to a lot. It's not a great positive indicator in all aspects, but it does contribute to that. Inflammation of the skin, which can be caused by stress, sun exposure. One of our key signs of skin sensitivity is impaired acid mantle and barrier function, which we hear that term a lot. Weather extremes, pollution and toxins. I find a very strong correlation in skin sensitivity to gastrointestinal disorders, malnutrition with regard to nutrient deficiencies, in particular minerals. Essential fatty acid deficiency is a very strong culprit in high sensitivity of the skin, as omega-3, 6 is imperative in creating ceramides and essential fatty lipids for the stratum corneum protection. So essential fatty acid deficiency is extremely important to pay attention to in all skin types. And of course, medications. In general, skin sensitivity reactions are localized and can take time to develop. There is something called delayed hypersensitivity that happens. So allergic reactions can be instantaneous, they can be within 72 hours, and they can also be compounded on what we call delayed sensitivity. So in our stockist training, we talk about any type of vitamin A reaction. And what we usually recommend is that we slow down the application and alternate the application on different days, augment sensitization with a occlusive hydrating product that would help desensitize or lessen the appearance and feeling of sensitization. Of course, one of the areas everybody wants to talk about and is a very, very large problem in our skincare industry is pigmentation. And that may be characterized, obviously, by uneven skin tone, normal texture, normal secretion. However, there are other types of pigmentation that need to be discussed. And one is hormonal changes, all the way through female hormones to stress hormones in the endocrine system. Excess cortisol can create pigmentation. Stress in general, from a naturopathic physician standpoint, stress can create pigmentation in the body. And so we need to be cognizant of a client's stress patterns and a genetic predisposition for pigmentation. This is where your intake is extremely important when you're doing your skin assessment. One of my key things in skin assessment when discussing pigmentation is to find out their genetic history. We may have a Caucasian client who has a parent from South Africa, who may have a French Caribbean relative. So the pigmentation and ethnicity background is really, really important with regard to understanding the mechanisms of pigmentation, as well as the potentiation for pigmentation with regard to sun exposure. Adrenal and other hormone imbalances can also lend to the development of pigmentation. Disease state can do that, particularly pancreatitis and other pancreatic diseases, as well as adrenal diseases, can create the development of pigmentation. Medication and stress, of course. Stress is the root of just about every problem we have in skincare. Blemish-prone skin, I'm not going to call it acne-prone. Let's just call it blemish-prone, because there are about 12 different kinds of acne, all with their unique mechanical blueprint for their development. But looking at blemish-prone skin, let's say acne vulgaris type 1, which is typically what we find. There may be some sallowness to the complexion, uneven texture. We know for a fact there's hyperkeratinization and hyperproliferation, which tends to lock in that excess sebum and develops retention hyperkeratosis, which helps to develop the blemish-prone skin. So we have genetic predisposition that may contribute to it, hormonal changes, stress, diet, physical factors, and environmental and occupational factors that develop to blemish-prone skin. For example, a personal trainer who works out a lot may develop acne-prone skin on the back, on the décolleté, the forehead. So finding out your occupation of your client, as well as the duration of the breakout and when did it appear, all those things we know is extremely important. Another area I'd like to mention is what we call in naturopathic medicine is auto-intoxication. And auto-intoxication is a result of faulty elimination from the body, which can result in which can be caused by the less intake of fluids. Constipation, poor nutrition is usually part of the problem. But as the lymphatic area becomes stagnant, the skin tends to reap the undesirable effects of breakout as well, and that's a whole nother class. But again, some of the main causes and contributing aspects to breakouts on the skin. So let's start with, I'm excited to talk about the Focus Care range and some of the key products in the range. So we talked a little bit about the focusing on the signs of aging. So the first area we're going to talk about is Focus Care Youth. And what are the visible signs of aging? So again, we're going to look for the wrinkling and fine lines around the eyes, mouth, and the forehead. Also, we also pay attention in particular to the procerus and the glabella, what people call the number 11s up there. That's a giveaway too. The nasolabial lines around the mouth, the marionette lines, thinning skin texture, laxity on the neck, the crepiness on the neck, the polychoderma, the décolleté, the erratic hyperpigmentation, the crepiness, all those things leading to less translucent and less radiant skin. Let's put those all in that category of signs of aging of the skin. So how does aging skin develop? So first we see healthy skin cells and layers. The fibroblasts are healthy and the uppermost layer of the skin is firm and even. We can see the compacted cells. It looks nice and compact. But watch how the fibroblast changes when it becomes inactive. And we see how the cells differentiate. We see with the fibroblast not operating to its full potential. And what happens then, we end up with thinner and drier skin and fine lines and wrinkles begin to form. And when we start to look into this capacity, unfortunately, this is when a lot of clients come to us looking for SOS 911. And so where we have the tools to work with this type of skin is the support from all of the bioavailable nutraceuticals that are in our Environ Youth Essentia and Skin Essentia line, as well as some of the tools, in particular our skin rolling and needling. And now we have the Focus Care Youth products that can augment as well. So we can add any of the Focus Care products into our regular program, whether it's Youth Essentia, Skin Essentia, and even into the back bar treatment modules as well. So how Environ targets the appearance of aging skin, we know as skincare professionals, what are the key words we listen for when identifying aging skin? So it's important, I think, that we pay attention. We're estheticians are really, really good. We're experts at giving advice. That's what we do. We're caregivers for the skin. But I think what's equally important today is that we listen, that we become good listeners as well. So communication with the client is important, obtaining the factor of looking for a long-term relationship. And when you're an Environ stockist, and when we use Environ, we want a lifetime, and that's our motto, that's our ethos, is beautiful skin for a lifetime. We want a lifetime relationship with our clients. So we need to listen as well as give advice. So looking at your importance and the structure and the length of your skin assessment and intake, lifestyle, medications, their current regime, of course, never downgrading another product, but how can you quantify and qualify your reason for that client to use Environ? So clients come to us with a concern. We need to offer them solutions and guidance, target and identify problems and concerns, design a treatment plan and educate. And I think follow-up after services and after product purchase is really important, and always have a plan B and be able to communicate that plan to give them incentive, to give that client incentive to continue to use Environ for a lifetime. So first, again, to reiterate, we're going to normalize the appearance for healthy looking skin with the Vitamin Step Up system. This is our patented Step Up system that we use through our Skin Essentia and Youth Essentia lines. Then we're going to target with confidence. Once we've created the homeostasis of healthy skin, we're going to start to augment and bring in the Focus Care Youth range. So in Environ, again, we use beautiful science to develop intelligent ingredient combinations for the appearance of specific skin concerns. The Focus Care Youth range contains various combinations of scientifically researched ingredients that may assist in delivering the appearance of youth-enhancing benefits. Okay, so this is important to remember, that we want to first normalize, and then you can augment and bring in the youth Essentia youth focus care products as you start to want to augment their treatment. So let's take a look at some of the stars in the line. The first thing we're going to take a look at is our concentrated alpha hydroxy toner. Now, this is the key. Alpha hydroxy in the youth Focus Care Youth line is the key to natural glowing skin. Begins with skin preparation. We know that for a fact. So your skin does not look its healthiest when it's dry, devitalized, sun damaged, or excessively oily. So if you prep the skin correctly before moisturizing, you'll be able to help the moisturizer permeate and get to where the skin needs it most. So this is real important to recognize that glycolic is one of the most effective and well-researched forms of vitamin A. And so as an exfoliant, glycolic can help in desquamation. It helps to renew the appearance of the skin surface, visibly softening the signs of aging, particularly from sun damage. It may also assist in promoting the benefit of the natural acid mantle of the skin and encouraging exfoliation in a gentle way to help refine the appearance and texture of the skin, resulting in a skin that feels smoother and looks radiantly healthy. So we can use our alpha hydroxy toner, and it can be added to the daily skincare routine when the signs of aging and sun damage have become visible, as well as when oiliness and congestion are experienced. So this product has a high concentration of glycolic and may be introduced to the skin once it's been prepared to moderate to high levels of vitamin A. So we want, again, to make sure that we prepare the skin through the Environ step-up system and introduce the alpha hydroxy when the skin has been prepared and acclimated. So you would pre-cleanse, cleanse, and then tone with your alpha hydroxy toner by using it on a cotton pad, and follow with your Environ moisturizer morning and evening. So let's take a look at the special box packaging that we use. I think these are great. It's real good to have the information on our boxes, and this is a great script, because when you're learning the product line, the information is there both for the client, for them to see, and for you to tried or memorize in helping to stratify that sales process. So again, pre-cleanse and cleanse, moisten cotton wool with the concentrated alpha hydroxy toner applied to the skin, follow with your Environ vitamin A moisturizer, and use morning and evening. Now, one of the things you can do is dampen your cotton pad with a little bit of water if you think the skin may be sensitive, and instruct them to use a little bit diluted version if you'd like. Our next product is our Biobotanical Revival Mask. And this product is one of the stars in our line. There's a tremendous amount of research that was done on this product. In clinical trials, I believe Dr. Des tested this product for 3 years. And we had a lot of before and after photos, showing the results of using this particular product. So by adding the Youth Plus range to your daily vitamin step-up system, you may assist in improving appearance, encourage the look of radiance to the skin. And this is a multi-use product that's a star in the Focus Care Youth range. So it's formulated with a revolutionary combination of 3 powerful ingredients that may assist in enhancing the skin's overall look and feel, as well as resilience. This dynamic mask can leave the skin feeling smoother and appealing younger with a healthy looking radiance. You can use it as a 10 to 20 minute mask, gradually building up to 20 minutes. So to use it in that respect, you're going to pre-cleanse, cleanse, and tone with your preferred Environ product. Using the spatula provided in the box, place a small amount on the mask to the palm of the hand and apply a thin layer to the skin. Leave on for 10 to 20 minutes. We recommend starting twice a week, and then rinse with tepid water. And then you can follow with your recommended vitamin A moisturizer in the evening. Now, once the skin has been acclimated to the product, you can actually sleep with the Focus Care Biobotanical Revival Mask on as a beauty treatment in the evening. Once your skin has been comfortable with the 20-minute daily application, you can have your client to use this as a beauty flash treatment for the night. Again, you're going to pre-cleanse, cleanse, and tone, and then apply your moisturizer and your mask and leave it on overnight and rinse in the morning. Okay, and our box again gives us some great information. The key ingredients in this product is asiatic acid, lactic, and mandelic. So I just want to give you a few great tips about asiatic. It improves skin hydration. It also reduces inflammation. In scientific studies, formulations containing asiatic acid showed efficacy in improving skin moisture by increase of surface hydration and a decrease in transepidermal water loss, as well as producing anti-inflammatory properties. Mandelic acid is very important and a fairly newcomer in the span of alpha hydroxy acids, and it's one of the largest aromatic alpha hydroxy molecules. Since it has really large molecules, as does lactic acid, its size is less of an irritant, and it's very, very popular as an adjunct acid to other alpha hydroxys. Mandelic works on 2 levels, one as an exfoliant or a type of exfoliant that has an antibacterial ingredient as well. As an exfoliant, it eliminates fine lines and wrinkles from the skin, and it's a great alternative to steroids and hydroquinone in the treatment of hyperpigmentation. And in particular, in your higher Fitzpatrick systems, mandelic acid has been shown to be extremely effective on working on post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. It's naturally found in bitter almonds, and we use a synthetically manufactured compound, and it's not sourced directly from bitter almonds, so there's no risk of allergic reaction to nuts, and this is a question we get quite a bit. So direct exposure to proteins from nuts is which causes the allergic reaction or the sensitivity. So we don't use the direct protein. We're using a compound that's derived from the bitter almonds to work as the mandelic. So the trifecta of these three acids works very gently but thoroughly to revive the skin, and which is why we call it the Revival Mask. So you must try this product, absolutely phenomenal. The peptide-enriched frown serum is another star in our product line. This is to be used on smaller targeted areas where frown lines and expression lines exist. So again, the procerus, the glabella, that region, the nasolabial fold, the marionette lines on the side of the mouth, this could be used there as well. But particularly, we recommend it for the number 11 or the Botox region that we call it. It's a unique combination of three peptides that help to prevent the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, as well as the appearance of expression lines, especially on the forehead. So these three powerful wrinkle-fighting peptides protect and help to offer the most ultimate non-invasive serum that results in the appearance of smaller, smoother texture and more radiant skin. We do recommend that you use the special tool from the Environ instruments with this product called the Focus CIT. And this is a very small, compact, easy to use needling device that enhances the application of our peptide serums, in particular the peptide enriched frown serum. So you're going to use this on the area you want to penetrate the peptide serum. You're just going to use it after cleansing, toning. You're going to use the Focus CIT with a firm but light pressure, and follow with the application of the peptide-enriched frown serum. And you want to do this every evening. So there are small, very small needles on the edge of that CIT device that work just to help the augment the application of the serum itself. So this particular treatment, we don't want to use it on eczema, psoriasis, skin cancer, or any open or broken skin. So that's important to remember. The CIT is also a great take-home to introduce clients to skin needling and get them into our premier rolling devices that we use as well. So the peptide-enriched frown serum, let's take a look at some of the great ingredients we have in here. The arginine peptide influences the release of neurotransmitters, which are required for muscle contraction, thus inhibiting the formation and reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So arginine has been around for a little bit, and it's the most studied and most highly cited type of peptide that's used in our industry. A lot of people call it fake Botox, but it is extremely well researched, and we have been using arginine in a lot of our products for quite some time. Luficil is another great pentapeptide, and peptides, by the way, are really important when we're talking about structural integrity of the skin. Peptides help to maintain and support the protein aspect of the skin. And when we start to age, that's an important factor. A lot of nutritional studies show that accelerated aging is because of lack of protein in the cellular aspect of the skin and developing the skin itself. So Luficil is a peptide that closes the calcium channels, and it inhibits the release of neurotransmitters in the synapse, which is reducing the muscle contraction. It's compatible with other wrinkle peptides, anti-wrinkle peptides, for a synergistic effect. And then in combination with arginine, the duo decreased the depth of wrinkles by 25%, raising the values up to 47% in 1 month. And I got this directly from the Luficil website. I always like to look at the manufacturer as well as our great reference manual that stockists will get when they go through our training. We also have the Sinate complex, which is a peptide that smooths the appearance of expression lines by topical application. It mimics the activity of a naturally occurring peptide found in venom that relaxes the muscle. So it basically blocks the acetylcholine receptor in the synaptic response. So these are very, very powerful effective peptides that are used in our Focus Round serum. And this is, again, one of our star products, and every client should be introduced to this product. It's one of the easiest products to introduce. Everyone needs prevention. And so there are a few products that I love to introduce our clients to immediately, and this is one of them, the Frown Serum. Nobody wants wrinkles on their forehead and between the brows. So I'd like to just give a little bit of extra information. What is the secret behind the success of peptides? Dr. Des has studied them extensively. So let's take a look, though, to understand how peptides work. Let's take a look at what is some of the main factors regarding aging of the skin. So aging is primarily due to alterations in the dermal extracellular matrix. We know that, and we know especially a decrease in collagen content. And it's important for us as estheticians to recognize that collagen depletion varies greatly among individuals. And collagen is a direct derivative of protein. If we do not have protein in the system, we do not create collagen along with vitamin C. Protein is critical in developing collagen. So when fragmentation of collagen fibrils and accumulation of disorganized elastin material occur, this is pretty severe damage. And this type of damage we see a lot on the neck, what we call the little chicken skin on the neck. And those are actually disorganized snaps of damage, elastosis and elastin in the skin. So that is one of the concerns of far as the skin aging. Also wrinkles and dry skin, these are varied consequences that are actually considered wounds. And the study of peptides has been surrounded between the environment and the sun, but with the study of peptide science, wound healing became a great focus in tissue research, and it's one of the things that catapulted the idea of using peptides to integrate into anti-aging preparations. So wound and tissue research has influenced overall peptide science. And we also study the mechanisms of protein and intercellular activities with regard to proteins, which are also instrumental in developing peptide science. So growth factors and cytokines, which are growth factors within the immune system, are included in several cosmetic products intended for skin rejuvenation because of their ability to promote collagen synthesis. And I'm going to talk about our colostrum towards the end of this program, which has growth factors and is, to me, one of my favorite products, and I'll explain why when we get there. But in general, let's think of peptides acting like cell messengers, that they're able to regulate the sequence of events required for the skin matrix repair and many other specialized functions. And it's amazing to me how peptides are able to communicate so frequently when used in the right combination and the right synergy of peptides to help reduce the appearance of skin aging. So a little bit about peptide science for you. Another wonderful product in our Focus Care Youth is the Tripeptide Complex Advanced Moisturizer. And this is a luxurious cream with a trilogy of the peptides that we have. It has the matrixyl, the trilogin, and synthase 6. Another moisturizer and booster in this product is vitamin E. You can look to this formulation to assist in the maintaining of the skin's youthfulness by giving it age-defying boost. The skin is ultimately left looking younger, smoother for a longer period of time. And it is a great companion to use with our serums and may be added to the daily routine even before the visible signs of aging. So a 27-year-old, 28-year-old, again, not the age, but so much looking at the state of skin, this is a great introduction product. And for someone who may not be able to use vitamin A regularly, this is a great product to intervene with and add to their program. So let's take a look at some of the ingredients. Again, we have our peptides, the matrixyl 3000. The wheat protein, the hydrolyzed wheat protein, Trilogen, is a very, very important product. The wheat proteins are used a lot in the beauty industry and hair products and in skincare products because of their ability to pack down damaged tissue and in hair products, the cuticle of the hair, but they encourage strength, resiliency, hydrate, and smooth. So this is a very important peptide along with the matrixyl and synthase 6. This is a wonderful, youthful moisturizer that helps reduce the visible signs of lax appearance and mature skin. And it has a comprehensive treatment which acts on all stages of collagen life cycles thanks to the triple application of the peptides. We also use plant-derived squalene, sodium hyaluronate, of course, your hyaluronic acid, and tocopherol acetate, the vitamin E, as a powerful antioxidant protection. So we also use, back to the hyaluronic acid, we use low to medium weight hyaluronic acid. The Dalton theory comes in here into chemistry. Penetration of sodium hyaluronate and hyaluronic acid. It's important to understand the different weights of hyaluronic acid, and we use a weight that penetrates to the best advantage of the skin without caustic absorption. So a lot of the commercial hyaluronic acids that we see on the market, when you look at the totality of a formula, it's not this individual sum of each product, it's the totality of the formula that gives you the benefit, overall benefit synergy. And so again, emphasizing that we use low to medium weight hyaluronic acid, which has a better permeation and synergistic activity and plays nicely with all the other ingredients. And that is really important. There's a lot of misconceptions about hyaluronic acid out there. We also have our tripeptide complex advanced elixir, and this is a great companion to the moisturizer and as a serum. This particular product has a very, very nice feel and will complement all the other products in the tripeptide complex line. And again, we use the same matrixyl, the wheat protein, synthase 6, the hyaluronic acid, squalene, and the vitamin E. So these are great introductory treatments to the Focus Care Youth line. We have another product in this line that I'd like to talk about, and that is our Step Up program with the retinol serums. So we put this in the target profile with regard to refining and improving the overall appearance of uneven texture and photoaging skin. Now it's important we add this into the youth range, and you can use it with the Youth Essentia or the Skin Essentia, which can improve the appearance of signs of aging and leaving the skin more radiant and youthful. So the retinol serums have been formulated with higher concentrations of A. And just like the rest of our Step Up systems, we really recommend that you go through the recommended prescription process by using the recommended dose, not just jumping right to the 3, but to promote the skin through the acclimation of using these products to get the skin used to it correctly. So the key ingredients in the concentrated retinol serums, we have in serum 1, we have retinol and colostrum. In retinol 2, we have retinol, colostrum, retinol palmitate, and retinol acetate. So as you can see, we start to bring in a larger arsenal of anti-aging and restorative properties and ingredients. Retinol 3, we have the retinol, colostrum, retinol palmitate, and retinol acetate, but in a higher concentration. And as you can see on the screen, we recommend generally 2 to 4 bottles before progressing to the next step of retinol. Again, this would be looked upon on an individual basis. And for our experienced stockists, you know that some clients we can bring that in quicker, but again, it's looking at the state of skin and making sure that they don't have a retinol reaction or sensitization by going too fast. Remember our mottos, stay slow and go low. Make sure we acclimate the skin as best we can. So our next category is our Focus Care Moisture. So you can see how we take our core products and then we're going to add these in for specific targeting reasons to augment our skincare treatment. The Focus Care Moisture, we're going to look at the signs of dehydrated skin. Again, we talked about this earlier, thick, rough texture of the skin, flaking on the nose and the forehead, fine cracks in the skin. So that's important to look at. We know how dehydrated skin develops. We want to take a look at how the skin needs to be replenished through waterproofing barrier, letting moisture escape, the transepidermal water loss, structural integrity becomes a problem. And of course, thick and then rough, uneven stratum corneum. So again, we're going to listen to that client for signs. We're going to normalize with our step-up system, add the Focus Care Moisture range. Our night cream, our Focus Care Moisture night cream is a luxurious cream. It's multifactorial uses. We have medium concentration of glycolic and lactic acid. You support the effects of the natural pH by the natural exfoliation process. It can be added to any daily routine when there's signs of dehydration and rough texture. It can be useful to help alleviate the effects of retinoid reaction by supporting benefits of the acid mantle and moisturizing the skin as well. So this is a great product to introduce in several aspects of treatment. And we recommend in the evening 2 to 3 times a week and apply less frequently during spring and summer. Our key ingredients are lactic and glycolic. The Vita Complex Super Moisturizer is another star in the line. This is one of my favorite products. It's great for clients who have not been introduced to Environ. It's a great product to start them on. It has a lot of great ingredients: the lanolin, pentavin, or rehydrate, shea butter, vitamin B5. Provitamin B5 is great anti-inflammatory. Glycerin, vitamin E. The ascorbyl tetraisopalamate is our fat-wrapped vitamin C. And then we also use rosemary in the line. And the Vita Complex with this helps to restructure and soothe the very dehydrated, weathered skin. This is great for people that live in harsh climates, particularly in the winter, or someone who's had a sunburn, to help normalize the stratum corneum and the lipid content of the surface of the skin. It can also be augmented in with any type of peeling that you're doing, using as a finishing product. The hydrating serum helps to plump and smooth the appearance of dehydrated skin. And this is our hyaluronic acid intensive hydrating serum. So again, reiterating, I talked earlier about the low molecular weight of hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a glycosaminoglycan. So it's a natural substance that's a youth supporting ingredient that the body manufactures. It's in our skin, it's in our joints, it's in our bones. So we want to keep hyaluronic acid hydrated in our skin. And so by augmenting our treatment protocols with the hydrating serum, the skin becomes more stable, it's safeguarded, and it becomes constantly renewed. Hyaluronic acid, as we know, also has the ability to attract water as a humectant and keep that water on the surface of the skin, and it can hold up to 100 times its weight in water. And it's one of the most moisture binding characteristics product ingredients that we know of, and so we love it for its ability to blend nicely with all of our other products. So this is a great staple product to introduce to any age client for sheer hydration. Even oily skin does well with hyaluronic acid. We also have our Vita Oxidant Hydrating Oil Capsules. I have a client who calls this a mink coat for her skin. She loves these. These are great for travel. They are extremely nourishing to the skin. We have retinol, the ascorbyl tetraisopalamate, vitamin E, lipochromin, rosemary, green tea. Your ECGC green tea is also a very good anti-inflammatory, helps with hyperpigmentation, hydrating the skin. Lipochromin is a form of vitamin E, so we want to reiterate that that's a very good protective agent. It's a fatty acid that's a plant beta sterol, so it actually helps to like make the skin feel like it has a mink coat on it. It's very, very highly penetrating. It doesn't lay on the surface of the skin. It's great after applying our alginate mask. You want to finish off with a luxurious treatment or just a special gift for promotion. These are great. As a stockist, you want to try and see when we have our great premium samples in to offer this to the clients. But this should be, especially for age prevention and compromised skin, this is a great product to add to the regime. Our Focus Care Comfort, we're looking at sensitive skin. We talked about earlier, healthy stratum corneum with a healthy acid mantle. We know in sensitive skin, the skin becomes thin, the stratum corneum becomes thin. Langerhans cells increase. We have a lot of inflammation that develops. The protective function of the skin is compromised. I love to talk about sensitive skin, and this is something that I think we see more and more of in our industry. A lot of it's due to improper home care, diet, nutrition, the list goes on. So we have tools in our Focus Care Comfort range to help, along with other Focus Care products, to desensitize the skin and help support sensitive mechanisms for healing. So again, listening to what the client has to say, how do we identify? Again, the vitamin step-up system, and then augment with adding on the Focus Care Comfort range. And the star in this range is our colostrum. And in one of our other series of webinars, I did an expose, I want to say, on colostrum and the many benefits of growth factors. But this particular gel is enriched with vitamins and a variety of antioxidants, including beta carotene in the plant form of vitamin A. And excuse me, I'm on the wrong slide here. The colostrum is first milk produced through bovine colostrum. It can be obtained in large quantities, and we use a freeze-dried bovine colostrum that's shipped to our factory and then applied into the product. So again, colostrum has a lot of epidermal growth factors. We also have Submissifuga racemosa, which is black cohosh, so it's good for postmenopausal skin. ECGC, magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, vitamin C, which is a really good bioavailable form of vitamin C, vitamin E, lavender angustifolia is a very light textured lavender oil. So colostrum can be used on everyone. I adore it. I use it constantly for compromised skin, acne, any type of peeling. I use it then, but you will find many uses for it. It's a different feeling to the skin for most clients, but it does permeate and penetrate well, and you can use it under other products and layer or cocktail. So again, the growth factors, the most important components of colostrum, can be broken down into two major categories: immune system growth factors and regular growth factors. So these are some of the growth factors that are available through our colostrum and colostrum in general. So a very important product to look at. And then lastly, our vitamin enriched gel, which I jumped to too fast, my apologies. The ascorbyl tetraisopalamate is in this product, which is our fat form of the vitamin C, our plant form beta carotene, tocopherol acetate vitamin E, and panthenol B5. So with vitamin E in this particular product, it's the most abundant lipophilic antioxidant found in human skin, and we intake it through our foods. However, vitamin E topically, along with vitamin C, works synergistically, internally and externally. So the fat form of vitamin C, or ascorbyl tetraisopalamate, is extremely important to recognize why we use this and why we don't use L-ascorbic acid in this particular formula and a lot of formulas, because we want the ability of the vitamin C to permeate through into the skin to get to where it's delivered and where it's needed most. So again, this is a great vitamin antioxidant gel that augments nicely with all of our other products. and in particular for skin that is needing comfort. I want to thank you today for your attention, and I had to rush up there a little bit. Sorry, I had to go through a little quickly, but I wanted to give you a well-rounded presentation and try to bring in some scientific aspects to share with your clients and to teach your staff if you're a spa director and your stockists. And thank you for supporting our webinar today and coming to visit us. And we hope that you try this wonderful brand of Focus Care products and bring them into your treatment room. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much, Erin. Thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing you at future webinars. A recording is on its way to you, and any questions will be emailed to the responses. So thank you again for joining. Have a great day.